You guys should, if you're gonna write these things, which you all should, just try to get like some little notebooks or something so you can keep them handy, especially when you're going to bed. You know, you're like, oh crap, you know, I have this idea that just came in my head, and then you jot it down real quick. Let's say you do get an idea like werewolf kid or something. A little kid turns into a werewolf. Alright, well, the biggest thing is how long do you want this thing to be, you know? Because do you want it to be a 10-page backup feature, or like a little short story, or do you want it to be 22-page one-shot comic, or do you want it to be a 3-issue miniseries or a 4-issue miniseries? That way you can do a trade paperback, you know? You kind of want to start going, okay, I want to do just one issue or just a one-shot, alright? So I'll just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down to 22. Alright, and then you kind of go across and you fill in what you want to happen, you know? Werewolf kid, I'm probably going to make him a, typical, Leave It to Beaver lifestyle. So, he's going to have a dad and a mom on him and everything. So, anyway, enough about backstory. Alright, so we'll start out, boy walks home, alright? So, page 1 will be a boy walking home, And I'll figure out, what he's going to do, like, when I actually write the page, So, maybe it'll be like an establishing shot, and then like the boy's walking and he looks over his shoulders like, what's that? Dark alley or whatever, and then bam, it's a werewolf, So werewolf on page 2, because that way it's a page turn, he's like, what's that? And then you turn the page, oh crap, werewolf, chases him. And then maybe we'll get to a suspense point where like the werewolf corners him. Boy wakes up. I'm like, like the next day, he's up, page 4 will be, boy wakes up next day, like, whoa, what happened, oh well, comes home, and then, you don't have to totally, like, just stick with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like, if you go, okay, the ending is they're gonna hug at the end, okay, I put a hug, typical hug, laugh ending, you just keep fidgeting. And then what's cool is if it's like, what am I going to do for these pages or whatever, double page spread, filler. It's like, oh, okay, I have 20, I have 3 pages to fill and I only have 2 pages, like, maybe you can pick your impact moment and you can do a full page spread on that, Alright, so after the boy comes home, he talks to his dad or whatever. Maybe they eat dinner. And time for bed. And so in bed, he starts feeling weird. What do you know? There's a moon outside, and he starts to change. So maybe I build up the change here. I'll go to 8. He starts to change, and then maybe 9. I'll do a splash. Or maybe not. No, I won't do a splash. I won't reveal it right there. He's changing, but it'll be dark and you can't see it. And then, maybe he'll growl. But then the mom hears, and she wakes up Dad. Dad, honey, I heard a noise. Go check on it. He's like, ah, he doesn't want to check on it. So then he opens the door. Son, you okay? And then that's when he notices his son is a wolf. Here, have a cookie. Have a cookie, right? Son, are you okay? Finds out he's a wolf and he's getting chased. And mom checks outdoor. Like, she peeks out the door. Dad runs by, and then the wolf runs by, and then she runs into the door real quick. Maybe the chase goes down the stairs. Maybe the mom yells at Dad, like, get some garlic! And then he's like, that only works for vampires, That'd be funny, like a little misunderstanding. And then maybe Dad grabs frying pan and then says to son, I think my son's turning to werewolf. Then maybe he tells the son, like, I hope this hurts you more than it's gonna hurt me. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more pages I gotta fluff out and do that, whatever they call it, decompressed storytelling, and I gotta figure out how to do that. That's why they do it, people. So Dad grabs the frying pan, says, you know, hope this hurts you more than it hurts me, and whacks him 3 times. And then the sun is out cold. And maybe I'll show him morph back into the sun. There we go, that's a good one. Alright, I'll show the aftermath. And, you know, is everything okay? You know, then the dad says in the next page, you know, Mom is going away for a while. And then maybe page 20 is the mental hospital. Like maybe they're having a group meeting. And, you know, she explains that her son's a werewolf, and they're like, yeah, and they don't believe her. Anyway, back to, alright, so 21, 22, I gotta fill in 2 pages. So I could either do this last page, or I could start spreading out this stuff. Alright, here's my way of ending it, alright. So, since Dad says, you know, Mom's going away for a while, like, I'll either, I just thought of this one, which is lame. It's kind of silly but stupid, you know. But like, Mom freaks out. Maybe she like, you know, runs around the neighborhood screaming, "My son's a werewolf!" And then, like, you know, like there used to be dog catchers that are like going around the neighborhood. Like it'd be funny if there's like crazy catchers where, you know, they're just running around trying to see all the loony people in the streets and then catching them like dogs. That'd be funny. Or I could just do like an alternate where Mom freaks out and like she doesn't know what to do, so she just packs her bags and goes away for a while. There we go. I got 2 alternates. I'll decide. I'll probably lean towards the second one. This one's funny, but I don't know. You know, might make people too much of a suspense of disbelief, you know. So I might go with the natural route, drama. So there we go. I finally got 22 pages done. I didn't think I was gonna do it. There you go, Werewolf Kid, 22 pages. Maybe I'll do something with it.